Sidetail, who had resumed his roly-poly first appearance, said, "As our long-winded friend indicates, we've done it." "How has Idaho been conditioned?" Irulin asked. "Idaho?" Edric asked, looking at the Talaxu. "Do you know of an Idaho Sidetail?" "We sold you a creature called Hate," Sidetail said. "Ah, yes, Hate," Edric said. "Why did you sell him to us?" "Because we once bred a Quitsax Haderach of our own," Sidetail said. With a quick movement of her old head, the Reverend Mother looked up at him. "You didn't tell us that," she accused. "You didn't ask," Sidetail said. "How did you overcome your Quitsax Haderach?" Irulin asked. "A creature who has spent his life creating one particular representation of his selfdom will die rather than become the antithesis of that representation," Sidetail said. "I do not understand," Edric ventured. "He killed himself," the Reverend Mother growled. "Follow me well, Reverend Mother," Sidetail warned, using a voice mode which said, "You are not a sex object, have never been a sex object, cannot be a sex object." The Talaxu waited for the blatant emphasis to sink in. She must not mistake his intent. Realization must pass through anger into awareness that the Talaxu certainly could not make such an accusation, knowing as he must the breeding requirements of the sisterhood. His words, though, contained a gutter insult, completely out of character for a Talaxu. Swiftly, using the Mirabasa placidative mode, Edric tried to smooth over the moment. "Sidetail, you told us you sold Hate because you shared our desire on how to use him." "Edric, you will remain silent until I give you permission to speak," Sidetail said. And as the guildsmen started to protest, the Reverend Mother snapped, "Shut up, Edric." The guildsman drew back into his tank in flailing agitation. "Our own transient emotions aren't pertinent to a solution of the mutual problem," Sidetail said. "They cloud reasoning because the only relevant emotion is the basic fear which brought us to this meeting." "We understand," Irulin said, glancing at the Reverend Mother. "You must see the dangerous limitations of our shield," Sidetail said. "The Oracle cannot chance upon what it cannot understand." "You are devious, Sidetail," Irulin said. How devious she must not guess, Sidetail's thought. When this is done, we will possess a Quitsax Haderach we can control. These others will possess nothing. "What was the origin of your Quitsax Haderach?" the Reverend Mother asked. "We've dabbled in various pure essences," Sidetail said. "Pure good and pure evil. A pure villain who delights only in creating pain and terror can be quite educational. The old Baron Harkonnen, our Emperor's grandfather, was he a Talaxu creation?" Irulin asked. "Not one of ours," Sidetail said. But then nature often produces creations as deadly as ours. We merely produce them under conditions where we can study them." "I will not be passed by and treated this way," Edric protested. "Who is it hides this meeting from?" "You see?" Sidetail asked. whose best judgment conceals us. What judgment? I wish to discuss our mode of giving hate to the Emperor, Edric insisted. It's my understanding that hate reflects the old morality that the Atreides learned on his birth world. Hate is supposed to make it easy for the Emperor to enlarge his moral nature, to delineate the positive-negative element of life and religion. Sidetail smiled, and passing a benign gaze over his companions, they were as he'd been led to expect. The old Reverend Mother wielded her emotions like a scythe. Irulan had been well trained for a task of which he had failed, a flawed Bene Gesserit creation. Edric was no more and no less than the magician's hand. He might conceal and distract. For now, Edric relapsed into silence. Edric relapsed into sullen silence as the others ignored him. Do I understand that this hate is intended to poison Paul's psyche? Irulan asked. More or less, Sidetail said. And what of the Quisiarate? Irulan asked.